Still in the dark, divine feminine. Don't know how long this is going to be. It's been very long. Um, but yes, this is all about the podcast, and Anna's been going through it with the podcast. And yeah, so the podcast is so that people, I did it all voice. It was my first voice stuff. Now I do a lot of voice stuff now, because it helps people actually go within instead of seeing my face, which is fine. Sometimes people need to see my face and some imagery, and some of the techniques I teach with connecting with all the different energies to learn more about yourself and go within and things like that with art history, all that kind of stuff. I actually have when I've been doing it, I've been doing voice, and yes, I do pick a perfect little image to make it, even more, symbolic. But I want people to see their version of these things, because not everyone who was on the live when I was doing lives every day, no one was doing. Not everyone has seen the how we do the remote viewing. And when people talk about remote viewing on popular platforms, they talk about things that are having to do with getting information and being like, just like above, and like this person is a remote viewer. And if you can tell, that's my divine feminine that's like, does not like that. um Lilith is cracking up. The gatekeeping and the titles that people are giving. The thing is I think titles are great if it's going to help someone learn more about themselves on their path to go within. But there's some titles that make it so that it's a gatekeep without gatekeeping. So some people don't even gatekeep, but they do it on accident by having that title. But anyway, when you are visualizing everything, when you are watching a movie, when you're reading a book, you are remote viewing. And this is something I talk about all the time, to do it consciously and to understand why consciously you're seeing these things. So I have set intentions, and I worked with specific energies, and I state those energies because when people are first starting out, when they read texts or books, they take it for face value. They take it for the cover. They say, okay, this is a fantasy book. They don't think, why am I resonating? Why can I see this so clear? Why, when I saw the movie version of it, it didn't look like what I saw? We don't think of those things. We do, but we don't really go deeper, right? And so I have, like I said, designed these so that when you do listen to this, you're not going, okay, Nicole is telling me how our history and how it is. It's pay attention to what you are feeling. Pay attention to what you're seeing. Pay attention to where it's taking you. What is showing up in your reality after you listen to this? What's happening while you're listening to it? What parts of that are sticking in your mind, and you're thinking of it, and you're getting synchronicities? Because synchronicities, no one says this, synchronicities are your internal reality, so your true energy and stories and mind field that are that are there. I'm gonna on Patreon, I'm gonna do a video about mind field soon, because that's, yeah, it's very important right now. But anyway, it's bleeding into the external reality, and sometimes internal external reality. So you will see repeating numbers, and the only people who are going to appreciate the repeating numbers and see them with you would be someone in your internal external reality, like a friendship or a spiritual community or something like that. If you just tell someone random out there, they're like, okay, well, I see it. But those are tiny examples of things bleeding into your reality. Symbols, goddess things, words that catch your attention, and people think, oh, this person's going crazy. No, their energy is expanding so much that they're now seeing what's outside of them. I can't even count how many people have been freaked out about TikTok, and how randomly something will come up and they'll be like, how are these things coming up that I'm thinking? It's because of this. It's not just, people say the thoughts create reality and stuff like that. That's nothing. That is just tiny little scratching the surface. It is you expanding. It's you're expanding something within you. You are really working on and looking into, or healing, or exploring, healing, or expressing. And that's happening so much it goes into your reality. So I just wanted to say that because I'm very happy to hear this, because not happy that it's, shadow things that are very, I'm not happy that you're freaking out. But I understand that that it's not about freaking out. Like, I know that that is valuable, and we're, as human beings, part of being a human being is alchemy. So you alchemize it. Whether it's a hard time or not, we alchemize it. It's just how we are. Like, whether we're consciously doing it or not, whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to say that because I'm grateful to hear that you are experiencing this, because this is the whole point. This is why I even did the podcast, and why I did it so that it's public, because these are the first steps, because I have everything in a little step thing so that people can see, okay, check in with themselves and be like, am I doing this? And so I have like a little checklist on Patreon. And so this is the first step. This is you being like, oh, okay, so when I visualize these things, you know what I mean? And so the investment in that program is investing in the structure I built to make it easier for you, that I've gone through, and I know it works. If you want to do that, if you want to go within and keep expanding and expressing it the most authentic as possible. And especially since now I have gotten the human part, I have another edge to it as well. The human thing that I just went through this year. So I have a new thing that I'll be able to launch to help people with that's a bit different, and I don't know how I'm going to do that. It might be a class, and it has to do with the human part instead of just finding your energy. You have to do that first, though. You have to, if you're going to do, even if you do the human one, it is better to do that, because then you'll be able to choose how much of your energy is coming through and those kind of things, and be conscious, because it's about being conscious. And so learning about all those things, and you do learn about human things, but it's not like focused on the human, because we're so focused on the human, right? People say ego death and things like that. So we're focused on, like, am I a doctor or am I a person who works at McDonald's? Like, we're focused on that already. So why would we focus on that when you're starting to learn about yourself, right? So that's the first one. But anyway, I just thought if people have not heard the podcast yet, there's 6 episodes. It's very, especially the learning, teaching, dimension ones, those are very much helpful for what's happening right now. And if you're like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? These are going to help you find out your truth and help you go within. Because I've done tons of videos that are on my page talking about realities, but sometimes people need to go through it themselves. So I probably will keep saying this. Like, I think that's what I'm going to say a lot. But anyway, so yeah, I'm still available for one-on-ones. Check out Patreon, which includes the podcast and all the stages. You can think of it like, let's say, for example, you can't make it to a one-on-one for financial reasons, or for how you feel about things, or even how you feel about me, you're not sure yet. Patreon is a good for that, because it's inexpensive and you have a supporting community, and also you get like little tools and things like that might be enough for you anyway. You might not even need anything, but it's a good checklist, tools, all that stuff, and community. So see you guys soon. Bye.